Sean, what are you watching?
Watching the movie.
Yesterday's movie?
Yeah. How am I doing? That's me on TV.
Yeah. Wow. Right there. All right, guys. So part 7. No, it's part 8.
Well, somebody said we skipped part 5 or something.
No. Well, there was two part 4s, is what it was. So we technically did skip part 5, but there was 2 part 4s, and then it started part 6, part 7. But I said it was part 6 and part 7, so now it's actually part 8. Went to the junkyard this morning, local junkyard. I got on car-part.com and went to the junkyard and we got a transmission, same exact transmission. I guess it's kind of a common transmission. There was 5 of them in town. They were asking $350. I got it for $325. I gave them a little negotiation thing. Got that done. Blake, what do you think? Let's hear. No, you got to say something. You gotta
what?
About the transmission.
Oh, hopefully it's good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this one feels actually really nice when you
At least it wasn't the engine that was bad, you know, because
yeah,
to blow that thing up, you know?
Yeah, trying to get that engine out of there, or like trying to pull a new engine at the junkyard. The new one would have really been a lot of fun.
You know what sucks about watching YouTube videos? Ads.
But you're doing the right thing though. You're not skipping it. So I tell you what,
because you're my homie.
I really appreciate that. Gonna unload this transmission. Also, the catalytic converter people are probably about 10 minutes away. So we have the catalytic converters off of this thing and this thing. Blake has a TDI that he put a little vacuum cleaner exhaust on it, so now it smells like a vacuum cleaner. Hey, that's me right there.
Hey,
are you gonna open those up for me?
Is this yours?
Yep.
It's not ours?
That's me right there. Here you go. See, if you were a VIP member, you'd have got the MotionAutoTv pocket knife.
Didn't put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's you.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
These are for us, Blake.
Man.
Beltec Nitro Drop 2s.
Wow.
We might have to return these actually because we don't have enough budget.
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say those look like they're a little over budget, actually.
I mean, yeah, I thought we were doing great on the budget, and then
yeah, the tranny happened.
Yeah.
We just need the cat guys. Then the cat guys to come get our cats, and we're gonna probably put something else on this now that it's running.
Some nitrous, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna probably actually need it.
I actually thought
you're actually probably gonna need it, but
yeah,
we might not. I rode in it yesterday. It's not that fast.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, we just have it on the slow tune.
Oh yeah, the slow tune.
It's a sandbagging too.
Yeah, I bet. Blake, what do you think? Yeah.
It had no O2 sensors, no IAT sensor.
Yeah, it's fine. It's yeah. Our transmission's gonna go up there in 10 minutes. We're gonna be ripping. All right, boys. So transmission is up on the stand. It is chained down so it can't fall off. Got it all pressure washed. Looks brand new. I went ahead and I pulled off this top case. Everything looked beautiful in there. It shifts through the gears nice. It rotates nice. It feels good. I went ahead and I put the new slave cylinder and all that stuff in here. Greased up the shaft. Drilled out the holes right here at the top because the bolts for the V8 are bigger than the ones for the V6. So yeah, now I think pretty much all there is left to do is pump it up, stick it in there, see if it works. And then I'm gonna go for my first drive here in a little bit. Yeah. I know you did your first drive yesterday. I'm only a day behind, but
you have a lot more to do before you go drive it.
Well, I mean, I could drive it. I don't need all that fancy stuff in the back to go drive it. Transmission is in. The shifter only hits right here. It only hits the dash a little bit. Blake, you want to fire me up? Blake's gonna hit that relay right there. Go ahead. We got our. All right, Blake, are you ready for this? All right, clutch is in. We're gonna go into second. Funny. This thing smells. It stinks so bad. Like, I don't know what it is with the exhaust. What are you doing?
Sports betting, buddy.
No. Trying to make some coin or what?
Yeah.
All right.
Just to survive.
I guess. This thing sounds great. That's kind of a spicy sounding unit. This thing sounds way better than that LS. You want to hear the LS? Yeah. Fire it up. Come on. You're probably going to trip over something.
You should
On
see me
your
at
way
Walmart last night walking around like this. 10 phones, an iPad.
So this is Sean's exhaust that he made today. Little 90 coming out of the thing. O2 sensors. Sean's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now drive shaft is obviously hooked up. We need to bleed the brakes. Sean took our brake line yesterday to put on his, so we can't drive ours. As you can see, now it's stuck down there at the bottom. It's leaking. We also need to get a serpentine belt, put the radiator and stuff in it, and kind of go from there. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So we'll catch up with you then, guys. So now that we have it, it moves. The transmission, the clutch, and everything works. We need to bleed it a little bit more. I guess these slaves are just a big pain to bleed. The 4-cylinder radiator, wherever it's at, right there, outlets are on the wrong side. So this is actually Sean's radiator out of his 3-liter, the V6 Ranger. You can see the upper radiator hose goes on just fine. So we got upper radiator hose, and then we had to buy a lower radiator hose from O'Reilly's. That thing goes right on. And then when we were at the junkyard, we got this fan. This is off of like a 90 Thunderbird Super Coupe with the 5-liter in it. So gonna get that thing mounted up over here on this thing. We got a smaller serpentine belt, or a bigger one. This is 83 inches, and basically deleted the AC stuff right there. So I think that's looking pretty good as far as all that stuff goes. So technically, so we got the radiator fan tied on here. I went ahead and cut some fuel line hose in just some little, basically cut it down a little, cut some slits in it, put it on there, drilled some holes, gave it the zip tie. It's got one official bolt right here in the top, and that's pretty much all we need. The rest are just kind of tied on right here. This is ground, this is low speed, and if you give these guys power right here, so that ties into this one high speed. So we've got 2 stages. This thing rips. I turned it on and it started sucking up, there was all this dirt and stuff on there. It started sucking it up into it. It's like a little vacuum cleaner. So smash this thing in, hook up the radiator hoses. Sean and them just got back with a brake line for me, whatever it is. Put the brake line in, put some water in it, push button start. How you doing? Guys, so in order to get the radiator to fit, I actually had to scoot it forward, basically take it off its top tabs, kind of zip tied it, kind of leaning all the way back just because of how close that radiator fan is. So we should be good now. Need to make some more official mounts to it later. You can see the tranny cooler is dripping a little bit. And I also had to extend this hose right there just a smidge. So got a little hose extension right there, looking good. Blake is pulling off the front end suspension because we're actually gonna cut some coils out of this thing, and we have some lowering shocks. So these shocks back here are some Beltec Nitro Drop 2s. And so these are, I think, 4 to 6 inches of drop in the back of this thing. And since this thing lowered it quite a bit in the rear, I think we're doing great now. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually just weld these guys right here on the bottom. And these are the old shock brackets. You know, we're on a budget here. So got those all grinded, ready to weld on. Same thing with this guy right here. Kind of get the proper angle on those. Throw a little bit of weld in there, but yeah, looking good. Sean got me a new brake line, or a used brake line. So now we have rear brake lines now. Blake is here in the front. He's actually pulling off the spindle, gonna pull out these stock springs and install the stock, or the lowering shock in it. And we're actually gonna cut probably 1 or 2 coils off of this thing to actually lower it in the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that stuff welded up, and then radiators in it. This thing's Pt.8 is installed in the rear. I would like to put on those little shock brackets that go forward, but right now I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. So we're might just gonna run with it like this. I cut out a lot of the coil, if you guys could see in the time lapse. Now these things are parallel and there's no weight on, well, I guess there's a little bit of weight on them, but I actually had to remove the bump stop because it was just sitting on the bump stop the whole time it was riding right here. So we might end up having to cut some stuff, cut some of this stuff, give it the control arms so that they're able to go out. We might have to extend the top control arms because we actually wanted ours low instead of it sitting like a monster truck. But look how high this thing is. You could stick like a freaking soccer ball in that wheel gap. And ours is just gonna be over here doing great. All right?
You can stick your soccer ball in that wheel gap while mine's driving down the road while yours is in here on the lift.
Yep. All right, so Sean got radiator fan hooked up. This cooler, he's got this, got IAT. I think you guys are gonna go for a drive, yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go mess with the tuning a little bit.
Yeah. That's good. Well, hey, good luck, okay? Good luck. You're gonna need it. All right, boys, so the Ranger is now sitting down where it should be sitting, but I think we have a little bit of an issue. Because Ronnie, will you do the honors? Will you go lower it down? I'd like to see what this thing's, what it's actually going to be doing. Hey, can you quiet down over there for a minute?
Okay, you ready?
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, we're too busy working.
Too busy working? Oh! Oh! I think I lowered it too much.
Great work. A link at a time. That's why.
I think I got a little carried. If I would have left one link in there, it would have probably been.
Yeah.
Wow, that is.
We were thinking two's probably.
That is pretty low. Look at that. It's about a brake cleaner can low. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we did, Blake. Gee, I did. It's kind of nice though. It kind of looks like a car. Kind of looks like a car.
Like the leveling kit spacers and stick on top of the springs, then you don't have to put new springs in.
Well, we don't have very much budget left. Maybe I could weld the spring back together.
That would work.
That'd probably be okay, huh?
Cut off too many.
You let me. I asked you if that looked great, and you said, "Oh yeah, that looks fine." Now, actually, we cut off this amount at first, and then I decided to take another one off, and then now we ended up with this. So it looks kind of like, I don't know if it looks cool or not. I like how low it is, but it's definitely a problem, and it's probably actually sitting on the frame.
Do you think the bars are actually sitting on the frame?
Yeah, actually, no, actually, there's like a bounce it real quick. Give it a bounce. Actually, yep, it's pretty much sitting on the frame. So if I put the bump stops back in there,
It'd be on the frame?
then we would be at the proper ride height. Guys, so it's tomorrow's race day, right?
It's supposed to be.
At like 5 p.m. And it's about 6 p.m.
Well,
today.
I'm ready.
Well, you're really close. So I lowered the truck obviously way too much earlier, and so we went to the parts store, and we found these 1-inch like coil spacers. What are these boys right here? These were $6 a piece to try to get it raised back up a little bit. So Blake is getting that all figured out. I got it wired on the inside of it. It's ready to rip. I just got to fix some exhaust, and we'll be ripping tomorrow.
So I'm gonna give you guys a chance tomorrow. Be nice, you know.
You're only on. Well, I'm gonna give you a chance tomorrow because I'm only running a 5-liter, okay, with no turbo. You guys are just running a 5.3 with 7 cylinders. So
About fair.
it's gonna be a good race to see who has the slowest thing so far.
Yeah, the thing is on 7 cylinders still. 30 pounds of compression, number 7. So
You actually did get scammed on your engine. So, but yours is coming together. Look at that. You got a grill on it. You have some exhaust.
not a 4-cylinder, so you can't really tell.
You have.
It doesn't sound like it's missing, but it's definitely.
It's kind of wired a little bit. You got your little thing in there.
Yeah, it's ready to go. That's right.
Yeah, everything's good to go. Lee and Blake are getting this thing ready to go. This thing's gonna run tomorrow, right, Blake? Well, we're gonna go drive it. Maybe I might come down here later tonight because we got a lot of stuff to figure out with this freaking truck. All right, guys. So I left the shop for a little bit, went home, had dinner, and while I was gone, Blake and Sean bled the brakes on this thing. They put a little bit of water in it, in the radiator. So I came back, and a little bit of the water was over here on the floor, kind of over in the tools. So since this radiator did come out of Sean's 3-liter with a blown head gasket, it probably had a bunch of pressure. I think the tank's cracked, or they might have cracked it when they were pulling it out. So it needs a radiator. It's cracked right here around the bottom of like this tranny cooler fitting. Also, one of the heater hoses is kind of has a little slit in it in the back. Fan works, and power steering works. Put some fluid in the power steering. The brakes work, but now we do have an issue with the clutch. So the clutch isn't fully bled. It just feels like crap until basically the bottom 1/4%. So it's just not, I think there just has to be plenty of air in it somewhere. There's tons of air, but check this thing out. I guess I'll fire it up for y'all. So you could actually hop in it now, turn on the key. Give you guys some light right here. So turn on the key, make sure it's in neutral. The RPM works, but it's not accurate. So like if we're ripping it, the needles are gonna fight each other, so I need to adjust that. I don't know if the coolant temp works or not, but this is the radiator fan, and then this is gonna be a switch or a switch for an oil pump for the turbo whenever I mount that. So this is just kind of a quick thing that I did, just super quick, just to make this thing actually work. But yeah, when I push the clutch in and then try to put it in gear, it doesn't work. So if I want to start it, I basically have to kill it, put it in gear, make sure my clutch is in, and then now it'll actually go forward, so I can roll forward with it a little bit, pull it down. There's reverse. So that's technically the first time it's ever moved under its own power. So yeah, it runs, it should drive. I had to weld right here. You can see that. So now I need to put this thing back up on the lift and see if we could get some sort of an exhaust on it. And I guess one of the biggest issues right now is that I cut way too many of the coils out. I think I cut like 4 coils, I think is what Sean was saying. But this is even after we added that 1-inch spacer. That's how low this thing is. So it's way too low. You can see it dripping some water out of the radiator right there. So it definitely needs a radiator. It needs raised up in the front. Tomorrow I have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and tomorrow is technically our first, I'm almost gonna call it a practice race day, because Sean's is running on 7 cylinders and it feels really slow. I didn't have time to turbo this thing, but it's probably gonna be faster than that thing over there. So I'm actually gonna have to run out to the junkyard in the morning and grab some coil springs for this thing. And if you guys can't tell by my Instagram posts or when I kind of started the first thing for the Telluride, I actually did buy a new house, and I'm selling my old house, and I'm closing on that thing tomorrow. And I also have a DMV appointment to go register some vehicles in the morning. So I got a bunch of stuff. The DMV's out like 2 months on appointments, so I scheduled this thing like 2 months ago. And yeah, got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, which is Friday Night Drags, me and Sean are gonna take these things out there about 6 o'clock and actually race them against each other. So I'm not sure what tires we're gonna be running. I'm not sure about anything at this point, other than the fact that I have a lot of work to do this thing, so I'm gonna get started on the exhaust. What's up, guys? I'm Trevor from MotionAuto, and we're giving away this 2022 Kia Telluride and $20,000 cash. All you gotta do to get entered for a chance to win this thing, head over to MotionAutoTv.com, grab one of your favorite products, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win. Click the link. To the junkyard, I got some brand new coil springs. They freaking charge 30 bucks a piece for these coil springs right there. I could have got lowering springs for that price right there. Brand new coil springs, and then I also got a new used radiator, but we're not putting that into the budget because, you know, on account of this shouldn't have happened, and we made it happen. But Blake is over here. How many times have we done this? Because we did it once.
This is the 3rd time, I think.
We did it once, then we brought it down, and then it was too low, and then we put the other coil springs, the spacer in there, put it back up there, and then it was too low again. So now this is the 3rd time off, technically. Then we're gonna go to the drag strip, and Sean's on 7 cylinders. You got 100 and some PSI, 170 PSI in all of them except for that one.
7 has 30. Yeah, but I think it'll still be faster than you, so I'm not worried about it.
I mean, I fired this thing up last night. It runs great. If we could bleed the clutch and get the clutch bled and working good, and maybe a little piece of exhaust on this thing, and then the suspension on it, we should be good to go. Are you ready to rip this thing tonight? You really ready? I'm gonna let Blake rip this thing at the strip too. So it's either gonna work great or it's not, and Blake will figure it out, and he'll take care of it for us if it doesn't work very good, right, Blake? You'll get it taken care of. If it doesn't work good right out of the hole, you'll just he'll take care of it. Sean is wiring his headlights and taillights, whereas me and Blake over here, we don't have to worry about wiring our headlights and taillights. We just got to bleed our cooling system because the new radiator is, oh no, is it leaking? I think it's just leaking from this little top thing. So we might be okay. So radiator is in, new radiator's in, fan is in, putting water in it right now. Custom exhaust is under there. I'm not really proud of it, maybe a little bit, but we lowered it down before I could show you guys. But we also put in the new springs. I actually cut them off a little bit too low, so we had to put that spacer back in. So it's actually sitting good. Blake, fire it up. Make sure she's in neutral, please. What are you doing? Neutral. Oh, wow. That sounds way better now that it has some exhaust. Oh, yeah. Little battle before we even get there. Let's see if the taillights work, Blake. Blake, turn on the taillights. Brake lights. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're doing great, Blake. Are you ready to rip this thing? We need to bleed that clutch. Oh, this thing sounds great. Rev it again. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Go ahead. Hey, are these gears running on like cylinders? Oh, hey, I forgot I need to, Nice rig! We'll just go ahead right here. Hey, where's that aluminum tape? I don't know. I gotta wire in my alternator too. We gotta wire in the alternator, Blake. Closes at like 11, so we got time. It's burning like poo! Huh? It's burning like poo! Alright boys, so we just washed out the bed. Would you guys just take a moment and take a look at this Ranger? Blake. That's not a bad looking Ranger. We got power steering, we have a radiator fan, we have an air box, we have an air filter, we got vacuum lines, we got an alternator, we got brakes, we got a clutch, we have a swept out bed, we have the most disgusting, can I just show you guys, look at this seat, look at all that grime on this seat. Oh, look at that too. Oh yeah. We're doing great. But like, check this out. This thing comes right off. That's good. This is our radiator fan. This is how we start it. This is a spare power button. All right, let's give it a rip, Blake. It sounds pretty good. Yeah. Like it sounds like a freaking. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do this on. Buddy, we're driving. This seen a V8 Ranger before in my life. Like, I guess this sucks. This freaking, that's coming off. We're just gonna get the shifty boy now. Just bloop, bloop. We need a little bit of fuel too. This is either a good thing or a bad thing. I went to tighten it and now it's leaking more. So it's either really bad or it's going to tighten up and it's going to quit leaking. Because maybe whoever was at the junkyard before me and tried to pull this thing out just loosened it, because mine just started leaking. Sean, how's yours doing?
Mine's doing great, ready to go.
I hope somebody just had this thing at the junkyard.
Oh, loosened it?
And loosened it, because now I don't think it's leaking. Oh, we might be good.